Hi, I'm Jennell Evans, co-founder of Strategic Interactions, and I specialize in helping high achievers transform into extraordinary leaders. During the past 15 months, as we've all experienced a global pandemic, we've really been impacted in how we live, how we learn, and how we lead during this time. We learned a lot about ourselves as well as others in our lives and what truly matters to us, right? As a result, I know people that have left their jobs that they never ever liked. They've moved across many states to be with family members, and they've started new careers really focused on their passions. The massive disruptions that we experienced made us aware of what truly matters, what our true priorities really are, not what somebody else wants, but what really matters to us, while also raising questions about our purpose and if we're living a life that is aligned to our purpose and one that really makes us happy. So, as we begin to transition back to our offices, some of us part time, some of us full time, and go out more socially and attend work networking events and so forth, I wonder if now could be a great time to refine yourself as a leader and an individual with clarity about your true purpose. According to Richard Leider, who is an expert in helping people define their purpose, I have a quote from him, and he says, "Purpose is a verb. It is an active, inspirational aim. The power in purpose is activated when we wake up in the morning with our purpose foremost in our minds, and when we go to bed at night, knowing that we work toward it." We feel great about ourselves and the lives we're living if we know we're living our purpose. But it's really about being clear on how we intend to live every day, our commitment about how we want to show up every day and what we're focused on. Living a purpose-driven life should be centered around what you're naturally good at, what you're passionate about, and it should be congruent with your values and certainly your priorities, which may be much, much clearer to you now. It's definitely not about living the life that someone else wants you to live. While some of you may not feel the need to redefine your purpose as we begin to reemerge into some sense of normalcy or reset it, I know that it is very important to us to all know that we're needed and that we matter to others. That's essential to our well-being. And throughout our lives, we have these mile markers, right? These milestones about, going to school, getting an education, beginning a career, for some having a family, moving up in our career. In our purpose and what I would call those middle years of one's life can be centered on being a great parent or being an incredible contributor to a company's success. Then what happens for some people and why later in life they feel like they're not as clear on their purpose is that their roles will change. And without those roles, those big job titles or, having to raise children who are still living at home, what happens when some of that comes to a natural end, when the children leave the house and when that financially rewarding career comes to its endpoint for us? We can begin to feel like we matter less without those former roles. It can really get our attention on an identity level, right? Because so many of those middle years are spent really busy, really focused on certain things. When that all begins to shift, that can really make us feel a little less sure about our purpose. And the phrase finding our purpose is a bit misleading because the answer is already within us. It may change over time, as I just said, and I do believe it does. It's never outside of us. And it should never, again, be something we do to please other people. Some people believe that we are born with a specific purpose in life and it's part of our destiny. And others believe that we choose our purpose freely and create the life that we want. Now, neither belief is better than the other, but what matters is what you believe so that you can decide to leverage the purpose that you think you were born with or the one that you freely are choosing in your life. I believe our purpose shifts as a result of our life experiences changing and our roles shifting. For example, there was a time my purpose was really focused on being, a parent of a small child and all through high school, right? And now my son is older, so he doesn't need me as much. I was also very focused on growing a company beginning 30 years ago. Now my role, I can be more specialized in working with leaders or being a volunteer mentor. I don't have the bandwidth now that I used to have to do that. So, and I just use myself as an example to highlight some of these shifts that really can be catalysts for us to say, am I still living my purpose as I see it? I began to reset my purpose, it was 6, 7 years ago, so that I could now do more of the work that I'm really passionate about today. Clarifying our purpose at any stage of life requires us to pay attention to who we become because we are different at 50 than when we were 22. However, we can use our experience, our curiosity, our motivation, and intuition to reset or renew our purpose today. Now, I want to share 3 things with you that are really important for you to think about with your purpose. So, your purpose should leverage your gifts, your passions, and your values. If you can identify those 3 things, gifts, passion, and values, that will go a long way in helping you reset or renew your purpose. And again, maybe now is a really good time to do that. If you're not clear about your purpose at this stage of your life, you may simply need a different mindset, according to the purpose expert Richard Leider. He says you may just need a different way of thinking about it. He suggests, and I'll quote, having a mindset of living purposefully, choosing how you will use your gifts and talents to create more meaning in your life is more important than just focusing on having a purpose, right? That's not the point here. And he says that the majority of people do believe that we all have a purpose, but not too many people know how to figure this out. And I got a list of questions from one of his books, and I'm going to share those with you. And he suggests that if you ask yourself these questions, it will help you try to figure out, if you are already aligned with your purpose, maybe you don't want to make any changes, or maybe there's some work there for you to think about. And here are the questions. Number 1, have you recently felt like you'd like to be doing more with your life? Number 2, do you often yearn to use your gifts, your natural talents, to contribute more to the world? Number 3, do you feel like you're majoring in the minors, wasting time on things that are just too small for you? Number 4, do you desire to major in the majors, serve others in a larger way, but you just don't know how yet? And number 5, do you ever wonder if this is it? He says, if you can say yes to any of those questions, you probably are primed for an opportunity to rethink or renew your purpose. The truth is, none of us want to get to the end of our life and feel like we do not live a purposeful, meaningful life. It's the only one we get. Yet sadly, 72% of Americans regret that they did not take time to focus on who they could have become in living their purpose. So living your purpose means that you're growing and expanding through experiences that light you up. It means you're excited to get up and out of bed every day to help someone, to solve a problem, to make someone's day, to create something amazing. And when you go to sleep at night, you have this deeply gratifying feeling that you gave your everything, 110%, that you were productive and you did your best. Living your purpose means you focus on what matters and you minimize negative distractions. It means that you are more passionate about everything in your life. Living your purpose means you're intrinsically motivated to do what you do. It means you have more clarity about who you are and what you want to do, so you don't waste time on ridiculous stuff that doesn't matter. Living your purpose means you live with total integrity because you know yourself better than ever and your actions are aligned with your priorities. Living your purpose means you have a more positive outlook, you have more fun, and you feel like you're in flow a lot of the time. And living your purpose means you feel more joy, more fulfillment, and freedom from worries in your life. And I'll close with a quote from Oprah Winfrey, who says, "There's no greater gift than to honor your life's calling. It's why you were born and how you become most truly alive." So think about it. Is now a good time for you to reset, renew your purpose in life? If you have any questions about anything I've shared with you, please send me a message in my email, which is listed in the description of this video. Take care.